Welcome back, everybody, to the Boxscore Sports Podcast. I'm your host, and today is our episode. We are going to talk about the NBA, and to do that with me, Isaac, co-host, back alive. How's it going, Isaac? I am good as well. So you are back with us. You sound good. You ready to talk some NBA stuff? There's a lot that's happened since you've been out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have my mic on in the stream. But yes, I'm doing well, viewers. 7 viewers. Shout out to the 7 viewers. But yeah, bro, it feels like forever, man. It feels like I haven't been talking basketball in a very long time. So I'm ready to get into it.
Okay, well, let's get into it then. Let's talk about our headlines for today. And then after our headlines, we're going to do some progress reports for the Central and the Southeast divisions, what we're grading them halfway through the season. So let's start with our first headline. Griffin out, Doc Rivers is in. This was kind of a surprise firing. The
Yeah.
Bucks at this point was like 30-13 or 30-11, I think, when he was officially fired or something like that. Uh, what are your thoughts? It's kind of interesting because he's only got a half season to put this together, and
Right.
you could kind of tell some of the players were frustrated. So what were your thoughts on the Bucks making this move in the middle of the season?
I want to shout out to Megan first. She said, "Hi guys. Good morning, Megan. Hopefully you're doing
Hi,
good." Um,
hey
and
Megan.
and back to the Griffin thing. It's a very interesting move, I would say. I mean, to start, in the offseason when the Bucks hired him to begin with, it was kind of a head scratcher, to move on from Budenholzer and to get Adrian Griffin, who has no type of coaching experience in the NBA. Was he an assistant coach somewhere? I don't know nothing
Hmm.
about him.
Yeah, he
So
was Toronto's assistant coach.
gotcha. Yeah, so I didn't really, it was a head scratcher for me. So I didn't like the move initially. But to be fair for Adrian Griffin, because everybody's stating that the defense is just so bad, but that's not his fault when you trade for Damian Lillard and get rid of Drew Holiday, who was their best defensive guard that there was. And I don't know, man. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about, not they should have. Their biggest mistake was firing Bud because he had, I guess, that Heat series that everybody was so upset with him about. He had lost his brother in a car accident.
Hmm.
So I feel like a lot of Bucks fans, need to, acknowledge that, but also at the same time too, maybe just Bud just didn't want to be a coach anymore because of all that going on too. So there's that factors in. But to get down to the main point though is they should have never hired Griffin to begin with, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a head scratcher though. I mean, 30-13, I've never seen that in my life. A
Yeah,
coach first year doing good, second seed in the East, and then he gets doesn't even get to finish out the season.
yeah, I know, right?
So
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like I think you make some good points. So he was the assistant for the Raptors,
mhm,
Nick Nurse. That's who they should have went after, in my opinion, once they got
yeah.
rid of Bud. But they allowed Giannis to sort of pick his head coach. So I think Giannis wanted Griffin. So when you think about what's going on, is I guess what I understand is their defense wasn't just bad because it got rid of Holiday. Like none of the players knew exactly what to do on defense. Like sometimes they were dropping, sometimes they were switching. It was sort of like there was no continuity on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Well,
And that was the big struggle for them. And that's why they wanted to move on. And I guess
so they think Doc
ownership.
Rivers is the answer?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that part in a second. But like I think ownership, it sounded like the ownership and some of the big people who make moves for the Bucks went in and watched some of the practices. And then they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of this guy. For like 2 weeks, they were there watching the practices, and then they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. Um, to be fair, it wasn't the team that he signed up for. So that's a little different. I would say that maybe he just needs a little bit more experience behind being an assistant coach or whatever, and
Sure.
maybe he'll get another opportunity. The Bud thing, I mean, we've talked about. I just think his playoff adjustments and his stubbornness is what got him fired because you got to let Giannis cover Jimmy Butler if Jimmy Butler's hot. Like you can't just not do that. But um, yeah, let's talk about the other side of this, Doc. What are your thoughts? Do you think Doc is the answer here?
No,
No. All
absolutely
right.
not. But hey, it's good for me. It's good for the Celtics. It's gonna be Celtics Heat again in the Eastern Conference Finals. So thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. Still repping the Celtics green. So I love it for me personally. But no, for
Yeah.
as a Bucks fan, no, I know they hate this move, so it doesn't make them better. And to be honest, Giannis had to say if he wanted to get rid of Bud, if he didn't want to get rid of Bud, and then he wanted Adrian Griffin. So I don't feel bad for them. I don't, you
Yeah. Well, you
know.
shouldn't. Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's kind of the Bucks are now starting to be a little like a whining toddler to me now. Like you're 30 and 13 and you're complaining. Look at the Pistons. I mean, you could be the Detroit Pistons
Why,
right
why,
now.
why it gotta be like that? Why you gotta do that
But
to me
that's
right
what I'm
now?
saying. It's like there's teams that are literally that wish they could just get one win a week. And they're 30 and
Yeah,
13. They just blew out the Celtics.
yeah, I would say like I would blame the players more for this move if it was solely on the players. If like management didn't go in and watch this guy do a couple practices or whatever he was doing, and they're like, yeah, this isn't working out. So I don't think it was just the players' decision. It was the players' decision to hire him, Griffin. So I'm with you there. But again, like he was hired when Drew Holiday was still there. The only
Right.
thing I can
And that's
remember
not his
something like
fault.
this. Right, right. And the only thing that I can remember a situation like this is the David Blatt situation, which has
Hmm.
been kind of throughout the internet. But at least he had a year before
And took him to the
halfway through the
finals.
yeah, and then he got fired halfway through the year, and I think they were like 30 and 11, which is kind
Right.
of crazy to me that he got fired, but people just didn't like him, I guess. And the
But at
same
least he
with
finished out the
Griffin.
year though,
Yeah, he got 1 year to finish. No, I agree. I agree.
It's
I
just terrible. I think the Bucks. Everybody's saying the Bucks are going to take a lot of heat for this, and they should, and they deservingly so deserve it.
mhm.
So, it's I don't think the Bucks are going to go anywhere now this year. I think they might get bounced out first round, second round. I don't think they're going to the no Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Well, if they played right now, the first round matchup they would have is the Pacers,
Yeah, Pacers beating them.
and the Pacers kind of have the Bucks number right
Yes, they
now.
do.
Yeah. So this
I
is
think
okay.
I
So
think
let's just
the Pacers, or the Knicks could bounce out the Bucks, whoever
yeah
they
they don't
play in
they
the
wouldn't
first round.
yeah the Knicks one they're too good to get the Bucks in the first round. The Heat could get them. Orlando Bucks. I mean, I'm sorry, Bucks. Bulls or Hawks are also all in play. I think they could beat the Bulls or the Hawks. Magic, they've kind of come down to earth a little bit, but if they get the Pacers, that could be a fun series to watch. Now, let's just the doc side of this. What I think he does bring is the experience. He works real well with good players, experienced veterans. He always has. That's why he was able to help the Celtics get their ring. Is how well of he can connect with veteran players, put them in the right position. However, what you're talking about for the Milwaukee Bucks is you want to get to the finals. That's your goal. And I 100% agree with you as far as I don't think they'll have as big as a playoff failure as you're saying, like getting bounced in the first round, but I could see like a
Well, Bud
3-1
won them a
lead
championship, and they got bounced out first round. So
the next year. Well,
I
right,
don't see
right.
Doc
But
winning them a chip though.
no, I'm with that's where I was going to
Yeah,
agree with you. Is I just don't think he's the like we've seen too many times where even when he had the better team, they would blow like 3-1
leads,
leads.
right?
Yeah, right. I think it happened 3 or 4 times. One with the Clippers, they had the better team against the Nuggets at the time they did, and then especially against the Hawks when he had Joel Embiid. And I know Ben Simmons had kind of a collapse, but you got to find a way to win a series up 3-1
Hmm.
uh, against the Atlanta Hawks. So uh, um, uh, I don't know. I think it ain't a great move because of the lack of playoff success for sure.
Yeah, I
Or
just
failures, really. The failures in the playoffs. Right.
right. Yeah, I don't agree with the with the signing for the Bucks. I don't think it's a good move. But for Doc's sake, he better get it right because I think this will be
It,
the last time he'll ever coach again.
well, maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. He keeps getting opportunities. Avery, what's up, man? How's it going? He asked, why did we sign him for Doc Rivers so
For
long?
so
Why did we
long.
sign Doc? Yeah, yeah. I think, what was it, 4 years, Avery, for
Wow.
40 million?
They really think he's
Yeah.
gonna bring a chip to them, huh?
Through 2027, 40 million. So yeah, 4 years. Yeah, I don't know why. Again, it's just
It's crazy.
it is crazy to me how these coaches like why not go after I don't know. Like it's funny to me like Doc Rivers have had so many like opportunities, but someone like Mark Jackson has only had like one really, right? With the Warriors. And I thought he did a good job. Not that I'm saying this is the Bucks should have grabbed Mark Jackson, but just funny to me that he hasn't got an opportunity and he helped build the Warriors where Doc, like come on. Like we've seen what he can do. We've seen his ups and downs. It's like why not go after somebody, I don't know, a little bit more young. I don't know.
Should have went for Mark Jackson. I would have liked that.
Well, I think so.
I think he
Like I don't know why
deserves
he
it.
doesn't get an opportunity. I just don't get it. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, anything else on this topic? So do you have the Bucks basically first second round exit, you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
it could have been with Adrian Griffin too because no experience. You know what I'm saying? But at the same
Yeah.
time, you know, Doc ain't the answer either. So it's like, I don't know. I don't feel bad for Milwaukee at this point. I don't feel bad for
Well,
him.
you
So
shouldn't. Yeah, I'm with you. I think second, third round exit at the very most.
you think they'll make it to
But
the Eastern Conference?
no, I'm saying at the most. I'm just saying that's their ceiling. I don't think they'll get beyond that if they get there. I think I don't trust Doc in the playoffs. The same reason why, like even Bud, I never trusted Bud in the playoffs. It's just like and this is why it's kind of redundant why you go after a coach
I
like
trust
that.
Bud
So,
more than Doc.
well, Doc, yeah, well, I don't know because like,
You guys are
you
way.
know.
I don't know what's up with this Budenholzer hate, man. Like he's a great defensive mind coach, and won the Bucks a championship
Yeah,
not too long ago.
but Doc won championships too.
He won
Like
one.
yeah, so did Bud. And Bud had a
Yeah,
bunch of
but Bud's
failures
more
in
recent though.
yeah, but if Katie's toe wasn't on the line, they wouldn't had they would have been bounced in the first round that year.
Here we go with the skep with the what ifs, what ifs.
Yeah, yeah, the
There
what
is no
ifs,
what
what
ifs. He
ifs.
won them a championship. That's the. I mean, they could have got bounced. They could have lost the finals.
Yeah, they could have. Yep. Yep. No,
So
I'm just saying like coaches can win, we're not going to have the coach
I
debate, but this is where we're
just check this out, bro. Check this out.
Avery's mad at me too.
Yeah, check this
Avery's
out.
mad at me.
This is what I'm upset with Milwaukee Bucks fan. I know you're not a Bucks fan, Ryan, so I'm not mad at you.
No, no,
But this is
no.
what gets me mad about Bucks fans. You guys been trash for 50 plus years. I used to go to the Bradley Center and get $2 tickets, cheap tickets. The Bucks were such a mediocre team. And to
At
me, I'd
best, yeah.
never ever in my life on this planet Earth would ever thought that I would ever witness a Milwaukee Bucks championship, and they won it. And not very not it wasn't like I'm like 50 years old now. I was like, oh, when I was a kid, the Bucks were like this is kind of like pretty quick how they went from mediocre to them being a championship team like that. So it's
Hmm.
like I don't know, man. I feel like Bucks fans need to chill with that, bro, because you guys were not that good for years. Scott
Yeah.
Skyle days. Like you guys were oh my goodness, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to. I'm not like Bud's playoff failures go back to like Atlanta too. Like right, I'm not just, but it's hard to find like a good coach at time. But when you have someone like Giannis, it should be easier. I don't know. I just for me, it's one
But
of those
but
things
that's what I'm
like
saying. It's not like the Bucks were like a super team like the Miami Heat or like the Golden State
no, no,
Warriors or anything. They won
no,
it, and that's the thing I did respect. As much as I hate the Bucks, I gotta respect them and respect
yeah,
Giannis for doing it the right
yeah,
way, bro. The
yeah,
Bucks are
and,
the
and
only team in this era that actually won the championship the right way. I'm not saying the Warriors didn't. The Warriors did it with draft picks, but the whole KD thing kind of threw the Warriors out the whole thing too.
yeah, this the second and third one for sure.
Right.
So Avery said, "Give me a break, Brian. They want a chip." I know, but it's like the story. The story is sort of like Toronto won the championship that one year, but like, and you got to give Toronto credit,
But
but
Nick Nurse had
like,
4 or 5 years afterwards. Bud,
oh
you
no,
got they
no,
got rid of Bud after 2 years after winning the chip.
yeah, well, I I get that. Like,
That's what I'm
I get what
saying.
you're
That's
saying.
terrible. That's like
Yeah,
so
it was.
disrespectful. And
Yeah,
the Bucks
I
were the
don't.
best team that year last year. They were at the best record.
Well, the problem is you got to, and this is the problem with basketball. You got to make your star players happy. And Giannis, I think,
He's
when
becoming a
Bud
diva.
refused, yeah, well, I think like most star basketball players are like that's the way it works. But like when he wasn't allowed to guard Jimmy Butler last year one on one, like Bud would not switch it up, which I don't know why he went. I don't know. Like why not throw it out there? Drew Holiday was not stopping Jimmy Butler. Throw Giannis on him. So I don't know where it's like
But if you
I think
guys are,
he's
but if
soured.
Bucks fans are just mad at just that one series because they got bounced out by Miami, Miami went to the finals that year. So it's not like Miami was just this trash team that just came out of nowhere and just upset the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like the Heat were the number one seed the year prior and went to the Eastern Conference Finals the year prior. So it's like Miami Heat, they're a very great team. So I'm not there's no shame to losing to the Heat last year. I mean, yeah, it's the seeding, but everybody lost to the Heat except for the Nuggets.
Who did they lose to the year before, Isaac? You
The
remember? Was it
Celtics.
Celtics?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
when the Celtics
And the
went to the
Celtics a
finals.
good team. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like they were too hard on Bud, and I didn't know about the whole his brother dying either, so that plays a factor to it too. I just feel like it's just kind of ungrateful. The only thing I could understand is if Bud told them behind closed doors that saying like I need a break, I don't want to coach anymore. That'd be the only thing, but the firing just kind of seemed kind of harsh, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Should have just like mutually parted ways. That would have sounded and looked better, but the firing just kind of seemed harsh.
I think it's just too often. Like I get it. I'm sort of on the fence because I think you can't like him being out coached is the thing that like
And
was glaring.
Eric Spoelstra's a good coach,
Well, he's probably the best in the league for sure.
right? There's no
But he
shame.
got
Like, that's what I'm
outcoached
saying. There's no
by
shame.
Udoka too, right? Like he
Look,
got outcoached by Udoka. He got
check this
so
out. Check this out. If Mike McCarthy got outcoached by Matt LaFleur, this is why I say coaching is overrated, guys. And Jerry Jones is still sticking with Mike McCarthy after losing to the wild card.
well, I don't. That's inexplicable. I don't get that.
Nobody ever like. I thought right away. Oh yeah, Mike's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. Coaching is just. This is why I say coaching is overrated, in my opinion.
I do think in basketball it is, but like it also matters in a sense of like rotation and system. And that's why you see the same coaches fail in the playoffs and the same coaches succeed. It's there is some sort of difference, but I'm with you on basketball for sure.
Yeah.
Avery, you want to catch up with Avery's comments?
He said, "Save it for the coaches podcast."
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Avery. Good call. He also said we are not a dynasty, but we always have a real shot at winning every year, assuming our stars are healthy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
You
know.
guys know I'm
Yeah,
right. That's what it is.
what?
You guys
Save
know
for
I'm
the
right.
coaching
Yeah,
podcast?
I'm
No,
right
no.
about
Me and you.
coaching.
Me.
You guys know I'm
No,
right. I
no.
make valid points, bro. I make valid
I think you
points.
do make valid points. I'm not saying you don't make valid points. I think you make valid points. I'm just saying that I think you're too those points don't don't necessarily mean that coaching is overrated
If I
necessarily.
said coaching is not needed in professional sports, just take coaching
You're
out and just let the players play, that would be blasphemous. I'm not
Yeah, that's
stating
fair.
that.
Yeah,
Overrated.
right.
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
I
saying
think
it's
in the NFL it's
overrated.
more important than in the NBA. But I'm with you on the NBA stuff.
If
But
Bill
maybe
Belichick said that it's the players, it's not the coaches.
But the coaches always say it. I mean, the players always say it's the coaches, not the players. Like, I just listened to all the Lions talk about how Dan Campbell came in and just changed everything. And like, a lot of people are like, we were there before, we were there since the beginning. He's the most important part of this franchise. So it's like, who do you want to listen to? It's our choice to listen to either
Well,
one.
the
And I
Dan
think
Campbell
both,
situation, I agree with that. I feel like
yeah,
Dan Campbell changed, for sure, changed the
yeah,
Detroit Lions franchise. But at the
yeah.
end of the day, it's still the players that got to execute the plays. The players you still got to
Get
draft well.
getting the right yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still
No,
got to
no, you're right, you're
play.
right. And that's where I say you make valid points. It's just we got to come up with the right uh
Right.
percentage. That's all. Yeah.
20% is good.
20%, it's okay, it's okay, you're
All I
there.
said was it's 5%
Hey,
when Brady's playing. That's all.
we'll save it for the coaches podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go to our next topic. Enough about coaches, let's go to our next topic. We're going to talk about we kind of missed this, so full disclosure of behind the scenes, we were going to talk about this yesterday, but we ended up, our schedules just didn't mesh, so we're going to talk about it anyway because I thought it was pretty cool that on the same night that Joel Embiid scored 70 points, on the same night that Kat scored 62 points. uh wow, right? That was crazy.
Insane. I never
Yeah.
thought I'd ever see Embiid scored 70, but it was against the Spurs. So,
Yeah,
um,
he killed it, dude. I
yeah.
couldn't.
No,
I
it was
agree.
great.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
knocking his performance, but I saw the interview afterward, the post game interview, and they said you and Michael Jordan the only ones that did 60 over 60 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists, right? Him and Michael are the only ones that did
yeah.
that.
Only
And
two. Yeah.
he's like, I laughed when he said, Wilt never did this. Like, Wilt had to have done it. Like, come on,
Probably
he dropped 100, bro.
yeah,
Like, that's crazy. Avery said Embiid, Cat, and is that how you say his name? Thanasis?
yeah. Thanasis, yeah,
Thanasis
Giannis's
combined
brother.
for 132 points on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
me and
gosh,
Joel Embiid scored 70 points, yeah, on Monday.
crazy
We
man.
combined for 7 points. Yeah, it was just crazy. I thought it was interesting too. I don't know if you watched the interviews because, like, I guess the Minnesota Timberwolves got wind of this historic night by the Embiid. And so when Cat was going off, they wanted Cat to go for like 70, 80 points. And it kind of like allowed Charlotte Hornets to come back and eventually win the game. And Anthony Edwards came out and said, "Yeah, we were being immature. We were just trying to feed Cat so he would score get up to 80." Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So
But feed
they
the
ended
hot
up
hand
losing that
though.
game. I know they ended up losing. I think they were trying to feed him too much, though. They were trying to not allow it because how he gets to 62 is in the flow of the offense, right? Like, okay, we'll get him open, but we'll do it in the flow of the offense. And then at the end of the game, it sounded like they were just force feeding him, and it wasn't in the flow of the offense anymore.
I saw
So,
he only scored what, 4 points in the fourth quarter?
yeah, yeah. So I think
And
that's
then and then the coach just benched him in the
yeah,
clutch
because
moments when
yeah,
they're only down by one.
yeah, and it's because they were up by a lot in the
How many
let's see
shots did he
here.
take in the fourth quarter?
Let me check. See if I can find it here real quick. But I just think it's crazy to me because they only ended up scoring. They were up. They had to be up by, like, let's see. two, three, five, 15 points going in the fourth quarter, though, man. They were up by 15 at some point in the fourth quarter, and they ended up losing the game. That is crazy to me.
That's crazy.
Towns scored 4. He shot 2 of 10 in the fourth quarter. So the hand cooled off, but I think it's also because they were kind of like force feeding him to try to score points. And um,
They lost to
it,
the Hornets.
I know that's the thing. It's like, man, what a historic night by the dude, but you can't lose to the Hornets after that performance.
No,
That's
you
the
can't.
yeah, you just can't do that.
Yeah,
But
that's terrible. Anthony
here,
Edwards played like trash that game. Where was Anthony Edwards when you needed him?
yeah, I know. I know. Well, I think
Man,
that's what Edwards said after the game though, is they were just force feeding um
Cat,
Cat so much, and it kind of wrecked the flow of the offense. So
it's tough,
yeah,
man.
yeah, tough. You want to read Avery's comment?
He said only 9 people in NBA history have ever put up 70 plus in a game. Yep.
Ooh,
This would be
let's
Wilt,
let's.
Kobe, Dame
Yep,
did it,
Dame did it.
Devin Booker,
Yep.
now Joel Embiid. I think one's Baylor, Elgin Baylor. Did he do it?
Um, Wilt did, right?
Well, yeah, Wilt scored 100.
Yeah. So Baylor did it. Yep, I got the list here.
Yep.
So keep going. So I
So
want to see if you
I
can
mean,
get about Bill,
I got
Wilt,
6.
okay, Kobe, Booker,
Yep, I
Lillard,
did Kobe and Booker.
Embiid.
Embiid,
Okay,
yep. I did Dame.
okay. One happened last year as well. Current player went over
Went
71 points.
71. Who did that?
Gonna give you a second to think about it.
Hmm.
This is riveting podcasting right here. I'll give you a
Yeah,
hint. He
somebody did do
plays
71. Was that Luca?
no, not Luca.
Not Luca.
Plays for the Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah, Donovan Mitchell. That's right.
Yes,
Yep, Mitchell
yeah,
did it. Yep, I remember.
yeah.
Yep.
And the other two, one is David Robinson.
I'm shocked Luca hasn't done it yet.
Oh, he will. He probably
Yeah.
will.
You think Luca will
Yeah.
break Kobe's?
I don't know about that.
You think like there's like a some type of, hush hush rule that's not a rule, but like it's like a player thing where they'd be like, no, we can't break Kobe's record because he passed away. Like as
I
respect
don't
to
know about
Kobe.
that. Well, maybe. I don't know about that either, though.
Because
That'd
like
be
why
some.
like why doesn't people try to go for these records more often?
Well,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think Embiid was though. Like I think
Was he?
the Timberwolves. They said even afterwards, they're like we're trying to get we were trying to get Cat 80, like over 80. That's what their goal was, and
Wow.
they couldn't. Yeah. So
I don't want to
I don't
see
know.
Cat. I don't want to see Cat to do it. Like
I
no, I
know.
want to see
No.
you know, like Luca
Luca
do it,
or yeah.
LeBron, or somebody
Yeah.
that's been doing it for a long time. I no disrespect to Cat, but no, Carl Anthony Towns. No, I don't want to see Carl do it. Love to
Yeah,
see
that's fair.
JT do it though.
Yeah,
If
Tatum would
Tatum
be
did it or
fun. Yeah.
Giannis, like you know what I'm saying, like somebody like
Yeah.
that.
Cade Cunningham. Yeah. Yeah, someone exactly like that. Kobe. Yeah.
Cade.
Yeah,
If
why not Cade? Why you gotta be mean?
if Cade did that on the team that he's on now, that'd be kind of disrespectful to Kobe.
Well, yeah, let's wait till they get good.
Or
I was gonna
disrespectful.
say so.
Yeah, wait till they get good. Wait till he's
Yeah,
in the
okay.
playoffs more.
That's fair. That's
Get
fair.
some division champs, even though that doesn't matter. But like, yeah, you just gotta be on a winning team to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, good point. Good point. You want to catch up on Megan's comments?
Yeah, she said Kobe. I was going to say the same thing. So she was going to say the same thing that I said. So
Yeah, Kobe.
like,
Let's
why
go.
don't they
The
break
other
the
two
records?
players that did it, David Thompson and
Mm,
David Robinson.
David
So,
Robinson. That's right. Yep.
yeah,
Those are the other two. Yep.
beast.
So I
Yeah.
got
Oh,
7. I just didn't get
you
those two.
did. Yeah. Well, yeah, and one was like back in 1978. How many times have we heard the name David Thompson? Yeah. Okay, man. You want to move on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so this trade happened. This
Crazy.
trade happened last week, And if you weren't, you were probably, if you're a regular tuning into the show, you're like, oh yeah, why didn't you talk about this last week? Well, we just couldn't get together last week. So,
Right.
um, but Siakam is now an Indiana Pacer. The
Crazy.
Pacers didn't, yeah, yeah. Pacers gave up 2 first-round picks this year, which is in a weak draft. Their future first-round pick in 2026, and oh, who did they trade with him? They traded a player, right? I can't remember who it was. Let's see here. Let me get the trade up. I was going to do that. Oh yeah, Bruce Brown and
Yeah, Bruce Brown
Nora.
and picks, you said, right?
Yeah, yeah, Bruce Brown and Jordan Nora, if I can pronounce that correctly. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this trade. How did you feel about it when it happened? How do you think it's going? I think they're 0-3 though since they got him, which is to be expected, by the way, when you add a piece like that. But what are your thoughts on Siakam to
Well,
the
I didn't know
Pacers?
that this happened because I was dead. I was
Yeah,
buried.
to the world. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like here, like reading about it now, it's like, I guess it's a good pick it's a good trade for the Pacers, you know.
hmm
I like it. I think it improves them. Um, improves their team. The Bruce Brown, I mean, they didn't really get rid of too much stuff. I don't think. I think it was a good trade. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it for I liked
Pacers
it for both teams.
for the Raptors too?
Yeah, yeah, because the Raptors got 3 first-round picks out of it. And
Sure.
even though this is a weak draft, we know how it works in drafts. If you scout right, you find the right players, no matter where they're located. Jokic was a second-round pick. Giannis was 15th overall. So you can find kind of diamonds in a rough, so to speak, in the draft. So I liked it for them. And getting Bruce Brown, they're probably going to be able to flip Bruce Brown for a pick to a contender. So
Right,
that's very
right.
possible.
Yeah.
For the Pacer side, I like it. They're going to have to pay him, I think, but I'm not worried too much about that because we know that the TV deal's coming up, so salary caps are everybody's salary is gonna go up. So
Mhm.
they will actually have him on a cheap deal when it comes to like year 4 of his contract, I think. But they needed somebody out there to defend, and he's going to bring that to the team, and it's going to be an
Absolutely.
adjustment period. They're going to need to give it some time because when you add a piece like Siakam, it's going to take some time to develop chemistry.
Sure.
But I like it for defense. I,
No,
I
I
think
do
him
too.
and I think him and uh, Matherin will work real well together. And I love that they got Turner and him together because although Siakam, I think he's shooting like 28% from three this year. He's not having a good shooting year from three.
Mhm.
All the other players on the court can shoot a three. So he's going to be kind of the guy who's maybe a liability shooting, but you can handle that with him. So yeah, I really like it for the Pacers.
Yeah, it was a great trade.
Yeah.
I think they'll make a deep playoff run, in my opinion. I think, like I said, if they play the Bucks, if they do match up with the Bucks in the first round, or like the Knicks or somebody, I can see them getting to the second round Eastern Conference. Maybe, you know, they could. I could see the Pacers even beating the Sixers.
And that's what the defense like, right? Like you
Yeah,
having Siakam gives you an option to cover Giannis. Like that's the thing.
exactly.
Like not that anyone is going to stop Giannis, but at least he'll make Giannis work. I do want to correct myself. He's shooting 31% from three, but since he's been on the Pacers, he's shooting 16% the last 3 games. So, but that's I think the adjustment
I
period.
think
That's
it's just
gonna
new
yeah,
environment.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, new teammates, new coaches. It's gonna take some time, but yeah, the
for
Pacers.
sure.
I
Agreed.
think the Pacers already got the Bucks number already without him.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, Pacers are gonna be scary in the playoffs. Whatever seed
agreed.
they land, they're gonna be kind of like the Heat. They're gonna be like that dangerous team you don't want to see in the first round.
I agree. I agree. I think you're right about that. Yeah, I really like this Pacers team. I'm so jealous as a Piston fan. I wish we had the team. Anyway, speaking of scary, man, do you want to talk about the other trade that happened? Look at that
Scary,
transition.
scary. I see what you did there. Scary
Uh,
Terry. Oh man, I remember Scary Terry. Man, I know the Bucks fans remember Scary Terry
yeah, I think this
when he
was a
called
good pickup for Miami.
he called Eric Bledsoe Drew Bledsoe. I'll never forget that, bro. That
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
funny.
So Terry Rozier is now a Miami Heat, and they gave up Kyle Lowry and a first round pick.
It's a good trade.
Uh, yeah,
Good
I,
trade.
I I get it for both teams. I like it a little bit more for the Heat.
Well,
But they're
yeah.
also yeah,
Lowry's
but
old.
right, and but I like it for the Hornets because they did get a first round pick for Terry Rozier. Yeah, what's your thoughts on this trade?
I like it. It's a great trade for the Heat. I think Terry Rozier gives them shooting now, and scoring because Terry Rozier's a bucket.
Hmm.
And I think that's going to help them moving forward in the playoffs. I think that helps. I think Terry Rozier could lighten the load a little bit for Jimmy Butler. So I just didn't see Terry Rozier working out in Charlotte because they got LaMelo.
Correct.
So that just wasn't a good fit over there. So now I think Terry Rozier, he could be the point guard, and
Hmm.
I feel like he could fit very very well with the Eric Spoelstra offense. I think it's going to be a great fit. Um,
Yeah, he's shooting 35% from three this year, which I think is important.
yeah,
He's even been playing solid defense. He hasn't been like,
he is a
it's
decent
hard.
defender.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
don't give him
that's
a lot of credit for that. He is a
yeah.
decent defender. Yeah,
He is 6'1". So I mean, like, if you're a decent defender at 6'1", that's pretty good, right? Because
right,
like you're guarding guys that are like 6'4", 6'5" most of the times
correct.
in the NBA. So I like it for them as well. I think obviously with Kyle Lowry, he would show up every 4 games. So now you got somebody who's going to show up every game. And the one thing
Absolutely.
that he brings is playoff experience.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I know you remember, but the listeners remember the runs that the Celtics had with Terry Rozier carrying them in the playoffs, putting up buckets. So that is something I think that the Heat will love to have Rozier bring something, and also the Heat can still make another move because they didn't give up a ton of assets for him. So
Right,
yeah,
correct.
it was a good trade I
It
think
is a good
for the
trade.
Heat.
Pat
Yeah,
Riley's cooking, man.
yeah,
So
he is.
the Heat are definitely going to be there.
I agree.
They're going to
Yep,
be
the
there, and
Heat
they're
are
going
going to
to
do it good.
be. Yep, they're going to try and do another upset. They're going to try and do upset City. I think the Heat deliberately want to be a low seed on purpose just to beat the Bucks and the Celtics. I think like
In
that's
the
like
first round.
their object. Yeah, like I think that's like their objective again this year. They just want to do upsets. Probably feel it's
Yeah.
better that way than being the number one seed and losing because they were the number one seed a few years ago and didn't go to the finals. So like seeding really doesn't matter in the NBA. Like home court advantage, like it matters, but it really doesn't. You
Yeah, no,
know?
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Heat are going
I
to be
think it can work.
dangerous.
Yeah, I think home court works both ways because when you're at home and you start to lose a game in the playoffs, like to the Heat, like if you're Boston or Milwaukee and everybody tightens up because the crowd is so quiet and they're tight, it like can work against you at times too. So
It sure
yeah,
can.
yeah. Okay. Let's you ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay, let's go to our progress report. So we did this already for the Atlantic Division, and I
Hmm.
thought, why don't we do it for every division? So we're going to do two more divisions today. We're going to do the Central and the Southeast, and what we're going to do is we're going to just grade them halfway through the season, uh, and just kind of give our grades, obviously for each and every team, how we feel about them, and then maybe talk about them moving forward. So we'll start with the Central Division. Isaac, we're going to start with the Milwaukee Bucks. What do you give them for a grade so far this season?
Well, their record is like an A,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go based off record right now, but with the coaching problems, I might have to readjust it. So, I'm gonna say a B plus.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say a B plus just because of the coaching era and all that. I'm not too confident in that, but their grade should be an A because of their record. But I feel like the Doc Rivers thing. I don't know if that's gonna work out moving forward. Looking at the future right here, so I would give them a B plus.
And no lie, I also had a B plus because of the coaching, and their
Hmm.
defense has been
And
very
their
spotty.
defense,
And
correct?
yeah, so that's one thing. If Doc Rivers can come and help fix their defense, it's going to be a little bit worth it. It's just I think that like we already talked about, the playoff failures are probably something that, oops,
Are
um,
concerning.
yeah,
Yeah.
are very concerning. Yep, exactly. Yep. So yeah, I'm with you. B plus, for the Milwaukee Bucks right now, which is hilarious because, like you mentioned, there's still this 2 seed in the East. There's
Crazy.
like it's crazy, but hey, we just tell it as we see it and as it is. Um, let's talk about the Cavs. So the Cavs are 26 and 16. They're the 4 seed right now. What grade would
Yeah,
you give
they're
the,
8-2 in their last 10.
yeah, what would you give the Cavs so far this season as far as
Well,
grade for?
in the division they're only 5-4. The conference are 18-10. So division wise, they're not that good in their division. I mean, it's above 500, but it's not wow. But I'd say I'd give them a B. Just because they're fourth in the Eastern as total in the conference. So I give them a B,
Okay, B for you. Okay.
and they're 8-2 in their last 10, so that's good as well. But they can't they seem to struggle with division opponents,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
concerning a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna give them an A minus. And the
Really.
reason, well, think about it. They
Huh.
don't have Garland and they don't have Mobley. They've been missing those two guys for a little while, and somehow they're still winning. They're finding a way to win. The roster obviously is not complete.
Sure.
So I think how they're still the 4 seed with the injuries they're dealing with is very commendable, and I'm going to reward it with a nice little grade, an A minus. I think they'll appreciate that.
Yeah, I think people would love to be your teacher.
Yeah, well,
Have them as their
degree,
teacher.
yeah, degree of difficulty matters.
Man.
If you read a book and give me a book report on Dr. Seuss, yeah, I'll give you an A, but if you do it on like, the dictionary, you're gonna get some A pluses, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man. I think it's too. I think them being above the Bucks though grade wise is kind of disrespectful to the Bucks. So that's like why I got them at a B. Just a little bit underneath the Bucks. Because the Bucks are 31-13, man. They're 20-4 at home, and I think they're 11. Oh no, that's the
Sure.
Celtics. They're 9-6 in the division. Um, so just having them above the Bucks is kind of disrespectful. But hey, like you said, you made some good points. They're without Garland, they're without some key pieces, and they're still winning. So, got to give credit where credit is due. But I think a B is still good. It's still passing. It's not like a
Yeah.
C or a D.
No, no,
And
no.
that's
Yeah,
still
you got a
passing
good grade.
too.
I also, when I did the grades, my grades were kind of also based on what I expected throughout at the beginning of the year to now. And I
Yeah.
just expected a higher level of basketball from the Milwaukee Bucks. And if you would have told me that the Cavs are the 4 seed and would be missing Garland and Mobley
You would
for
think they wouldn't even be in the
half the,
playoff contention.
yeah, I'd be like playing at best, right? So
Sure.
that's why I'm giving them an A minus. Yeah.
That's fair. Still think it's disrespectful. But
I like to disrespect people on this show.
but
We are about the disrespect.
I mean, I would have been cool if you had him at a B plus rank. That'd be
Okay.
like that'd be like cool. The
Well,
same, but
you still have
above.
to like me though. You gotta like me
No, I
still,
love you.
still.
You're
So
good. You're a good
yeah,
guy. You're a
okay,
good person.
okay.
You'd be a great teacher for everybody. I mean, it'd be
Wait till
like,
we get to
like
the
if Mrs.
Pistons.
Puff gave SpongeBob his driver's license. I think
That's fair.
feel like he'd be like that. Where dangers, he'd be just passing everybody, even if they're
That's
not
fair.
doing their homework. So that'd be kind of concerning. But hey, I respect it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for respecting it. Wait till we get to the Pistons, then you'll be like, dude, that's the worst grade ever. No, I'm
Not
just
an A
kidding.
plus.
Yeah. The Pacers. So let's talk about the Pacers. Let's give them a grade based on their season so far this year. So we just talked about the trade they made. They are seventh in the East right now, 24 and 20. We know that they had that in-season tournament run, which I don't know what that means, but it means something, I guess. So what do you have for the Pacers as far as their grade so far this season?
I got them at a B plus. And
Okay.
the reason for that is the Siakam trade made them better. They're
Hmm.
9-2 in the division, and they seem to have the Bucks number.
Yep.
And um, yes, they're 2 games underneath the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I'm looking at division records right now. They're
Sure.
very good in the division, and they're 20-11
Yep.
in the conference. So, and it's not they're not far off from the Cavs, only 3 games behind. So, the Pacers are making really good moves. And
Hmm.
I feel like I think they'll be a higher seed when it's all said and done. Anyways, I feel like they'll be like a fifth seed or a fourth seed. I don't think they'll be at a seventh seed when it's all said and done. I think they'll be a fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm absolutely with you. I got him as a B plus. So me, two of our grades at least line up.
mhm.
I did not expect the Pacers to be this good this year either. And
Yeah,
Not Matherin. I'm sorry. Halliburton has
Halliburton,
been
yeah,
like, what a player.
it's a star, man.
How did he go 12th? I don't even understand. I remember in that draft because the Pistons got Killing Hayes and he was supposed to be the second best point guard in this draft. And when Halliburton fell to Detroit, I'm like, well, you got to draft Halliburton, and they passed on him. And then you'd listen to podcasts that justify like, yeah, I guess maybe the Pistons made the right choice. But then when you see like how all these teams, including like the Warriors, and they all passed on him, and the way he is balling, it's like how do these scouts and these teams it's so hard for them. I don't get how they miss so much, but it's because it's not an exact science.
Well, you got to
I think,
understand too. Halliburton was in the COVID year too,
yeah,
so
that's
there
true.
really
That's a good
wasn't a
point.
lot of there wasn't a lot of tape.
Hmm.
Or couldn't I don't think they could do workouts. Were they able to do workouts like individual
Not
workouts
very.
then?
I
Yeah,
don't think
so
so. Yeah,
yeah, they couldn't.
and
That was a tough year for scouts.
and you know the thing that you'll say sometimes like that guy has or don't have a dog in him. You know, you like
Right,
you'll say he has a puppy. I think that's the thing with Halbert. I don't think people saw that dog in him, and he has it.
right.
So,
And
and
most
you're probably right. The
no, it's not a
workouts and
puppy.
stuff
They
helped
got
with that.
kitties in them,
Okay,
but
kitties. Meow
yeah, and
meow.
kittens are cute. But um, hey, he did. He
Yeah,
got a German Shepherd in him, man. Better watch
yeah, he
out.
does.
The league gotta watch out for that boy. If you
100%.
gotta put a leash on him, put a collar on him, you gotta get him his
100
shots, cause you don't, and he's running wild loose, you're gonna get rabies.
rabies from
Don't
Halliburton.
get bit. Don't
He's
get
gonna be
bit,
biting
man.
people. There should be a beware of dog sign going into the Pacers
Absolutely,
arena. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
literally, everywhere,
Okay. That's great.
everywhere.
Okay.
That boy's
Everywhere.
nasty.
Yep. Okay, let's do the Bulls. So the Bulls are ninth in the Eastern Conference right now.
I'm
They're 21
shocked.
and 24. I know, right? 6-4 in their last 10. Kobe White has had himself a year so far.
I
So
know,
what's your
Kobe White.
grade? Yeah, I know. Like, who could have predicted that? Grade for the Bulls. No Zach LaVine either, by the way. And Lonzo Ball has obviously been out too all
For
year.
them to be a ninth seed without Zach, I mean they're 3-6 in the division. Um, but they're 6-4 in their last 10 though.
Yeah.
That's what's they suck on the road. They're decent at home. I'd give them a C plus.
Okay.
I give them a C plus because them being the ninth seed with all the trade, them trying to trade DeMar, trading Zach, all these trade rumors going around. Everybody's saying they should blow it up. No Lonzo Ball. For them to be the ninth seed, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I give them a C plus.
Yeah.
That's decent because the Bulls shouldn't even be. They should be where the Pistons are, Ryan.
I know. Let's not talk about that. So the Bull, yeah, they should be. Let's switch them. Um, Kobe White, 46% from the field,
Mm,
30% from three right now. He's averaging 4 rebounds and 5 assists and almost a steal a game. He is having himself a year this year. That's something I wouldn't have predicted.
me
I
neither.
don't think I had the Bulls making the playoffs at the beginning of the year. They're in the playoff hunt. I'm going to give them a B minus. I think the big thing you said that put me is like they don't have Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was supposed to be a big part of this team. So was Lonzo Ball. But The fact that they're still finding ways to keep in the playoff hunt, and like you mentioned, they're 6-4 in their last 10, so they're still finding ways to win a game. They're above my expectations so far this year. So I'm gonna go B minus.
Well, really, they should be a D at a D.
Oh yeah, I mean
You know
like
what
with
I'm saying?
everything that
It's
they're doing,
like
100%.
exactly they should be at a D
Yeah,
because of everything that's going on. Then the Alex
yeah.
Caruso trade rumors, and like I said, not them having Zach LaVine or Lonzo. So, but DeMar DeRozan is playing his butt off this year too.
Yeah.
So, despite all those trade rumors circling around him as well, Vucevic is playing pretty decent.
Hmm.
Um,
And
that would
they'll
have been a
probably make
double
some
double.
trades, right? Yeah, so
Well, that's what I'm
they'll
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Like
So
Chicago's still somewhat in it.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you
Hmm.
do? Like, if you're the Bulls, like, do you make these trades? Do you get rid of Zach? Do you get rid of DeMar DeRozan? And like, what do you do? Do you not
I
just
think
care?
I think okay, good question. This is a good question
Yeah,
because like what's your goal? Mediocrity can't be your goal, right? So
right.
Kobe White, young player, can we build around him?
Hmm.
And what could we get? Like that would be the thing. Like you're bringing up good points. Like do you just go for it because like uh um Kobe White and then you got DeRozan and Vucevic. Like could you get good pieces to build around Kobe White? Maybe a couple picks to help build around that guy. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
you
what
would
I
think
would
you would
do.
think with like
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, that should be enough,
Right.
right? Like you think like the Bulls just gotta wait till Lonzo gets back and let Lonzo and like, do you think that's why they haven't made those trades? They're looking like for to next year and like keeping
I think
everybody.
well, I think that could be
That's
so
risky,
that's the point. Yeah, because DeRozan's going to be your older. Is he going to have the same
right?
value? Will Zach LaVine, like the big problem with the Zach LaVine trade right now is the Bulls are playing better without Zach LaVine. That's the big
So
part. So
Zach's
his
trade value has probably went down
oh yeah, for sure.
tremendously. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Plus his contract, where he's getting paid 60 million his last year.
yeah, Bulls might just have to keep everybody, bro,
Well,
and
either they
just
got to
wait for
keep
Lonzo to
everyone.
come back. Hopefully, Lonzo's good.
Yeah. I think there will be a team out there though that will offer like a pick or two and a young player for DeRozan. Like I think there will be a contender out there that will do that. So you just got to figure out like is it like what like if the Lakers offered like their first round pick and couple young pieces. I don't think the Lakers have enough for DeRozan. I think they're going to end up with Levine. That's what I think, but we'll see. The Heat could end up with DeRozan. That would be interesting.
Mm,
Couple
don't
young
say that.
pieces, a couple picks. Oh,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler.
Oof.
Stop it.
Yeah, and then they just got Scary Terry too. Okay, my favorite team, the Detroit Pistons. Let's give them a grade. Isaac, why did you give this team an A? No, I'm just kidding. What's your grade for the Detroit Pistons? The Pistons, real quick. Let me just give you their
I thought we were
record.
never talking about the Pistons on this
Well,
podcast.
just for grading. Well,
See,
did
I
you
see what you
notice
did
they made a
there. I
trade?
see what you did there,
Yeah.
Ryan. I see what you did there. That's why you wanted to do grades because we haven't done grades in a very long time.
Yeah,
You just
this
want to
is
talk about the
yeah,
Pistons, huh?
that's it. Yeah, well, they made a trade. They made a trade. I did not put them in the trade that they made because it was very insignificant. So it's like I don't want to talk about the Pistons, but since we're doing grades on every team, we got to talk about the Pistons. So they are 5-39. They won last night against the Hornets. They are 2-8 in their last 10. Yeah, what's your grade on the Pistons?
F F F F F.
F.
Give them no F F F F.
I don't know if I can do this many. We're trying to keep it on one page. Effity. So that's what we got.
we got like three more F's to go.
Yeah, you see now it's
It's a
messing up the
different.
page.
That's how you know it's
Yeah.
bad. It
Yeah.
changed the font. It
F.
changed the
Can we do
font of
like
it.
F square or F cube? F3. How's that? F3.
No, that makes him look smart.
Okay, that's fair. F. How about double minus?
There we go.
Okay,
That's
well
good.
F dub. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all, huh? Just
Yeah.
F minus. You don't
Yeah.
even care to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey, 22 minutes last night, did not play the end of the game. I love Monty Williams. He's such a good head coach. Oh my God. When you tell me coaching doesn't matter, it's
He
like,
said
well,
expelled.
I'm expelling them. They're expelled from school. They're expelled from this podcast. They're gone. Expel. We're getting rid of the Detroit Pistons. I'm done. It's over. Till they fire Monty Williams. It was funny. A Piston
Oh
fan said the
gosh.
Bucks should trade for a first round pick for Monty Williams. I'm like, yes,
No.
please, please
The
do
Bucks, a
it,
Bucks fan
Bucks.
said that.
No. The Pistons. We were trying to get rid of Monty. We were like, do you
Oh,
think the Bucks would give up a pick for Monty Williams? I'm like,
trade Giannis to the Pistons for Monty Williams.
yeah, he's such a great coach. Okay,
I
we don't have to talk
told you
anymore about the
coaching's
Pistons.
overrated, Ryan. I told you this.
Well, except that coaching is killing the Pistons right now.
You think so?
Killing.
You just don't think it's just the
Uh,
inexperience?
I'm telling you, man, the fact that Jaden Ivey, no, the coaching is just atrocious, atrocious. I don't know what it's just
So you think if you threw me in the Pistons, we'd be a championship team? The Pistons would be a championship team.
not a championship team, Isaac, but I promise you would be a better coach because you would look at Jaden Ivey and be like, yeah, that guy needs to be on the court. That's what you would do. You'd be like, I cannot not have that guy on the court. 22 minutes is atrocious amount of minutes, and not have him in the last like 5 minutes of a game, how good he is just stupid. It just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. And you understand, like, hey,
I'd
these
get the
players need
Pistons
to
to
grow.
like 20 wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would be like, this team needs to grow. I need to put this team out there to grow together.
Right.
And Monty's like, no, I need to win. We need to win. It's like, you're not going anywhere. Why do we need to win? Just develop the players. And if you develop the players, you'll win naturally. That's what will happen. Spend time on these players
Well, Ryan,
and
I
you'll
could see you
win
being a
naturally.
coach. You could be the
Uh,
coach for the Pistons.
I think my nephew could probably be the coach for the Pistons. Just better.
Why
It's
doesn't
like,
Chauncey Billups be the Pistons head coach? Why doesn't he get rid of being in Portland and just go to Detroit
I
and
don't know.
change the culture around?
I would love Chauncey right now, dude. I'm not even like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Literally.
Okay, let's go to our next progress report. The Southeast Division. Stupid Pistons. Look, it got my blood all boiled up. Boiled up, bro. Boiled up. Well, at least we have the Lions. So there's that.
That's right.
The Heat. The Heat they are sixth in the conference right now, 24-20. We know how this is going to go. They are 4-6 in their last 10. Now, granted, that's also after
losing streak.
Yeah, exactly. This is also after the trade, so like you gotta kind of two of those losses are probably due to the trade and the transition right now. So what are you giving the Miami Heat as a
Well,
grade
they're
for?
first in the division, so I would give them an A. But I'm not going to give them an A. I'm going to give them a B plus.
Okay. Yeah.
They're just because they're on a 4-game losing streak. They're 4-6 in their last 10, but they're 9-2 in the division. They're not that good on the road, but B plus I think is good because they are what are they, the sixth in the conference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if they weren't on the losing streak, I'd probably give them an A. But like I said, we'll see what happens with the scary Terry Rozier acquisition. See if that helps them turn things around, which I know they will. I see Miami winning this division.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Yeah, so I got them at a B plus.
Yeah, and there's probably another trade in there.
Right.
I'll go B plus as well. I was gonna go B, but that might be a little harsh. But we do know that this is their thing, right? They're just gonna skate through the regular season, and in the playoffs, they're just gonna
turn it up.
Yep, turn it up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Orlando. Let's talk about Orlando. They are 23-21. They're only a game back from the Heat. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They are eighth in the conference right now, the eighth seed.
Mm-hmm.
What's your grade for the Magic?
Got them at a B.
Okay.
Got them at a B. They're eighth in the conference, but they're really good at home.
Hmm.
And they did beat the Celtics this year. I saw that game. They do have good potential to be a threat in the East. I don't think it'd be. I don't think they're a threat this year, but years to come with Paolo Banchero coming into his own. I really like Cole Anthony. I think he's a
Mm.
good. I think he's a good player. And they got good pieces around them, man. Especially the what are those, the twins? The Franz.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Franz and
the
Mo
Franz.
Wagner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
good. I think they got a good coach.
Yep.
So there's still room for improvement, but this year I'll give them a B because they're a game behind the Heat, and they could win the division. I mean, who's to say they can't? But I got Miami doing it this year. I think they'll win it.
Yeah, when I said they're doing it easy, maybe I was wrong about that. But I think they will win the division. The Heat will. But I'm with you on the B on the Magic. They're doing exactly what I thought they would do this year. I had them as a play-in team right now, and they are a play-in team right now.
Oh, you
So,
think they'll be playing?
well, they technically are right now. Yeah, anyone from the 10 to 7, right, are play-in teams now. They're not technically playoff teams anymore.
True.
Yeah, so yeah, I had them as playing team. I think I had them finishing ninth, and they're the eighth seed, so they're kind of right where I thought they would be. I'm with you though. Potential. I can't wait to see this team grow together. I think if they wanted to make a trade for someone like Zach LaVine, they could totally have Zach LaVine
Oh,
on this team. To add because what the Magic are really good at is their defense is so good. So if they
yes.
added someone like LaVine to get somebody that can like
Get
light up the
buckets.
basket. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I think that could help this team. But so there is a trade in there, but yeah, I got them as a B as well. The Atlanta Hawks, 10th in the division. They are 18 and 26 right now. 4-6 in their last 10. What do you got for the Atlanta Hawks?
Well, they're playing. Um,
Yeah.
it's crazy because Trey Young's been playing really good.
Yeah, he's
He's
been
been
balling.
balling, man. Um, I think and DeJounte Murray's been doing good too. They both got over 20 points a game. Trey Young got
Yep.
27. Murray got 21.4. Um, you know, man, Trey. I feel bad for Trey. You think he might have to leave, go somewhere else?
Well, right now the big rumor is Murray's being traded. They're gonna look to
Gotcha.
trade Murray and
Yeah.
just rebuild the team around Trey. You can't trade Trey if you're the Hawks. Now, if you're Trey, you
No, I'm
probably want
saying
out of the
right. That's what I'm
Hawks.
saying. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Trey, do
yeah,
you want out?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it seems they're incapable of building around him up to this point. So if I'm Trey, I probably want out. But he's a hard player to build around because he's so small and he
Right.
kind of needs the ball. So he's a hard player to play around.
Sure.
Yeah.
I 18 and 26 isn't a good record, man.
No, I know.
But they're still involved.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm shocked. I'm shocked Brooklyn hasn't been doing, because Brooklyn's been doing not that good either. And I thought Brooklyn would be a playing team this year.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
So I don't know. I mean, Brooklyn's only a half game behind Atlanta. Do you think Atlanta will be in the plan?
I don't know, man. I got to see what trades they make.
Yeah.
That's
So it's,
that's the
it's still too
problem.
early to tell. But right now, I'm gonna have to give them a D.
Yeah, good grade
Just
right there.
because of the standings, and they're not even good at home. They're 8 and
Yeah,
12 at home. They're 6 and 5 in the division. They're 12 and 20 in the conference, so they're not good against Eastern opponents. The only one, like I said, the only good thing coming out of Atlanta, why they're even a playing team right now, is because of Trey Young.
yeah. And they're
So
18 and 26, man.
yeah, it's
I
terrible.
just I just had more faith that backcourt would be better.
Me
Like
too.
Murray was like a good defender, a ball mover when he came, like facilitator type.
Mm,
His defense has gone downhill since he's been in Atlanta, which is unfortunate. And I thought Trey Young would learn to play off the ball a lot better, and he's not really learning how to do that so much. So
sure.
I understood why they did that trade. They were hoping to unlock Trey Young in a different way offensively, and it just hasn't happened. I'm giving them a D minus. I just expected a little bit more from this team. I didn't expect them to
They
be
did good
like,
last year.
Yeah, they were solid last year.
They were
Yeah, and
decent. They
so
were
you
decent.
would yeah, so you'd think they would take a step up, and I think they've regressed from last year, honestly. So I'm giving them a D minus.
That's fair.
Okay, Charlotte Hornets. Hornets, they are 10-32, 2-8 in their last 10 games. They are not obviously in any sort of playoff contention and probably
No.
won't be. LaMelo's been out for what, half the season.
Yeah.
Um, so what's your grade for the Hornets?
Got him at an F. Especially now with
Yeah.
Terry gone, so that's an F.
Yeah.
They're not that good.
I'm gonna give him an F as well. I'm gonna give him D minus. I should give him an F. I'm gonna give him an F. I'm gonna give him an F.
They're 10 and
I'm giving
32,
them
Ryan.
I'm giving him D minus.
Oh,
Here's why though. Let me just explain why. I get like LaMelo being injured, I think is a big thing. You can't lose your star player like that and expect to win games. Um, I also am more disappointed in the Hawks than I am the Hornets. So I can't justify giving the Hawks a better grade than the Hornets because I didn't expect the Hornets to be good this year. So I like this. I like the Terry Rozier trade. I want to see them make a couple more trades, and if they do that, because their goal should just be basically to blow it up at this point. And Brandon Miller has looked good. That looks like the right pick between him and Scoot Henderson at this point.
oh
So
yeah, for sure.
I do want to give him credit for that. So that's why I'm going
Okay.
to bump it up from an F to a D minus, just because it seemed like they got that draft pick right as well. So
Okay. You think moving forward it's LaMelo Ball and Miller.
yeah, I would
Moving
just
forward,
and I would
that's the
trade
duo.
trade away everybody
Everybody.
else
I'm hearing Gordon Hayward in
basically.
trade talks, and Boston
Yeah.
might grab him and be him on the bench. You think that would be a good trade for
I
the
would love it
Hornets?
for Boston. I'd love it for Boston too. Yeah, I think as long as I would love it for the Hornets depending on what they got. But yeah, I'd love
Right.
it for both teams. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's sort of what they need. But so I think the Hornets grade, in my opinion, could go up just based on how they handle the rest of the year. Because some teams should be blowing things up and making trades and stuff. And I think the Hornets are one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, finally, let's go to Washington. 7-36.
F
One of
minus.
Yeah, F minus. Yeah, they're not great.
No.
Yeah. F
And
minus
especially
is
with obviously Jordan Poole ain't the guy for saying
man,
I got my
no
ring, I
no
got my
lie.
bag, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's a bad look. And getting rid of Porzingis during the offseason, they didn't really do anything to
Yeah.
like make them better. They got rid of Bradley Beal. I don't know, Wizards fans, it's tough to be a Wizards fan right now. I don't know what they do moving on from here because Jordan Poole ain't the guy to build
It's
around.
it's so sad to me too is like they have a better record than the Pistons and I feel like there's more like if you look at the
I feel like the
Pistons
Pistons are
roster
better than the Wizards.
and right like they have a better roster than the Wizards but whatever stupid Monty Williams I can't handle it but yeah F minus I'm gonna give the Wizards an F minus as well. Jordan Poole is just not him. I think again, their grade, in my opinion, could go up if they just make more trades. If they just like let's just build because I like Kolabali. Kolabali. I think
Mm.
he's a good player. He's a good player to maybe kind of help build around. I don't think he's like a number one, but he could be like a number two or three on a good team. Um, as far as options go, so I think they should
They should
focus
just
on that
blow
and
it up.
just
Get rid of Kuzma. Get some,
yeah, agreed. 100%. Get rid
Bagley
of
too.
Kuzma. Yeah. They just traded for Bagley.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Bagley?
Oh, no, he got traded to the Wizards. The Pistons just traded him to the
Oh,
Wizards.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, they
yeah.
just got him. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could trade him too.
Oh, if they wanted to, although
Gallinari. Man, I feel bad for Gallinari, man.
yeah, he's now a Piston. Yeah.
Gallinari's now
So,
on the Pistons, right?
yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
I know, right? Yeah. I feel bad for a lot of people on the Pistons. Every one of their players actually.
Tyus
So,
Jones is kicking himself leaving Memphis.
well, see, they should trade Tyus Jones. They should trade Kuzma, and if they can get anything for Jordan Poole, I would trade him too.
You got
So,
to get rid of him.
yeah,
Wizards got a lot of busy off season this year for the Wizards.
Yeah, I agree. I
I
agree.
do not want to be the GM for the Wizards.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I agree, man. Um, so that's that. Next week we will do the Western Conference. We will
Okay.
do the Western Conference. If there's more and more trades, we'll knock it down to maybe just one or two divisions, but depending on how many trades, because I know the trade deadline is Super Bowl weekend, which is kind of crazy to me.
Right.
But so we'll do the Western Conference next week. Anything else about basketball, man?
It's gonna be a good game tonight. Celtics Heat tonight. 6:30.
Here. Is it in Boston?
It's in Miami.
Okay, okay.
And Kings
Uh,
Warriors.
I never asked you. The Boston Celtics were on pace to win every home game, and then didn't they
They
lose to the
lost to the
Nuggets last
Nuggets.
week?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Is that why you were really sick? Is that really why you
No,
got
no,
sick?
that was
Okay.
towards the end. Actually I was getting a little bit better on Friday. I wasn't throwing up anymore, but I was still, like body aches
Yeah.
and stuff. But no,
Maybe
I
your
saw
body felt it coming.
I saw
Maybe
highlights,
think of that.
man. I saw the highlights. That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That was a terrible shot by JT. Everybody was saying he got fouled, but you don't pull that, bro. JT,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the only thing that concerns me about Tatum, man, is I don't think he's clutch.
He could be if he just better shot selection. He almost settles too much for shots,
I haven't
right?
seen a clutch moment from Tatum except against the Sixers in the regular season last year when he did
That's
that
fair.
when he did that behind the back. Like I don't really see a lot of JT game winners where you're like, give JT the ball, he's gonna get us out, he's gonna win us this game. Like you don't see that a lot from Jason Tatum, and that's the only thing that kind of concerns me.
That's fair.
I did see
Jalen
that.
Brown.
Jalen Brown, yes.
Yeah, but you want Tatum to be that guy.
Yes. I mean he has
Yeah.
to be.
Right. Correct.
He
Correct.
has
Yeah.
to be, so and also I take that back to the playoff series against KD and Kyrie against Brooklyn where he hit that layup
Yeah. Oh, that's
to win
right.
the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was a layup. I
Well,
think that
that's
was more Marcus Smart than anything because that was just a great pass
yeah.
that Marcus Smart did because he was about to pull it and then he just saw Jason Tatum last second just threw it to him. So that was a clutch play by Marcus Smart. I miss him, man. I hope
Yeah.
the Celtics can somehow get him back. Because then if we had Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, and Derek White, oh
Well, what do you need? You want to just go grab the whole All-Star team?
man, I already
Come
said they're
on.
gonna make the Celtics are gonna be the whole and the whole Eastern Conference is gonna be Celtic players.
Well,
So it's gonna be the
Yeah, I
Boston
don't.
Celtics versus the West.
Yeah, Kevin McHale's coming back too, so that'll be
Yep.
great. Uh, okay, man. That's awesome. That's But this was fun today. For
Yeah.
everybody listening though, real quick, follow us on our socials, Boxscore Sports _ Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. Follow my guy here, Isaac Soury Lemon, Twitter as well, and his Twitch. That's where we stream on Twitch on his Soury Lemon channel feed. Also, I have a special podcast coming out. I recorded with fans of the NFL teams that are playing this weekend. So Isaac, I didn't tell you about this because I want to surprise you. I got a Niners fan to discuss the Niners-Lions game already recorded. There's going to be a clip on YouTube. And I have a Ravens and a Chiefs fans that discuss the Chiefs and Ravens game coming
wow.
up that
When?
I will post a clip
Oh,
on.
it's already done.
I already recorded them and I just got to clip them. So that's going to
Gotcha.
be super fun to listen to. And also, if you're listening right now, me and Isaac are going to talk about the games tomorrow, right, Isaac? Are we
Yeah.
still planning that?
Yes.
Yeah, 7 o'clock-ish,
Yep.
if everything works well.
We're doing
Yeah.
we're doing a live stream tomorrow, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so me and Isaac are going to
You're coming over. You're coming over here though, right?
to do a live?
You have the live at your house.
Oh, we'll talk about it off air, but
Gotcha.
we'll do something. We're going to do a pod tomorrow, a live stream about the games. That's what we're
Gotcha.
going to do. So check that out tomorrow. And then we might have something also Sunday. Sunday night. We'll see. We'll see. Well, I gotta talk to
Quick
Isaac about that.
reactions. No, we got to do quick reaction. That's
Oh
the
yeah, for sure,
NFC
for sure.
Championship, AFC Championship game. So
Yeah, for
got to go
sure, for
live for
sure.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so thanks everybody for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you all soon.